In my previous video, I got a comment from a subscriber saying, can you make a video on how to find your strategy, or which strategy is best after consistency? And after hours and days of consideration, here I am again to show you guys in today's video how I trade, the strategy I use, my thinking process in entering a trade and exiting a trade, my rules, and every single detail about my trading strategy. And basically every single detail you need to know about trading just like me. And this is the same strategy I used way back in 2024 when I began my trading journey. So yes, this strategy has tested the hands of time, both in the bad market condition and good market condition. So overall, I can confidently tell you that this trading strategy or system is profitable. So yeah, if you stick to the end of this video, you may just find out the secret strategy that the pros use. Alright guys, so we have a clear chart on GBPUSD. So I'm using GBPUSD for the whole analysis and everything beginning to end. So first things first, the strategy I use, I have just one system. For people that ask if I have a couple of strategies, because I noticed that some people have like 2, 3 that they use depending on the market condition. But for me, I use just one, and that strategy I use is basically following the trend. I just follow wherever the trend is going. That is where I am going to. Or wherever the market is, wherever it's moving to, I just want to like move and get a couple of tips in that direction and go out for the day. So first things first, you can see that currently, right, this point, from this point, right, from this point to, let's just say that this point, right, the market was moving to the downside. This whole place that I've marked out with this rectangle, you can see that it's like a downtrend. That just that period. So let's just say that we were not here when all of these things happened. Let's just say I mark out the trend, right, and you can see that whenever the market comes back to the trend line, it falls down back. So we can notice that market got here. What happened? It fell down. Market got to this order, came back to the trend line again. It fell down again. Market came back down to this other trend line. What happened? It fell down again. That's just kept going on and on and on. Let me mark all of them out. So we can see that market came to this trend line 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Now you don't count the first one, because the first one is like what begins the whole trend, so the first one is not counted. So the market came to the trend line 5 times, and what happened? 5 times it fell down. So imagine that at each and every time we touch the trend line, we sold. So that's basically the whole idea behind following the trend. Whenever market comes to a trend, right, it does what? It either goes in that direction or it breaks the trend, and most likely it is supposed to go in the direction. So let's just say we were not in this market at this time when the market came here, and we knew that okay, since the market has come back to the trend line, we should do what we should short. Would have made a couple of profit from this market at this point here, right, and would have just been repeating the same process over and over and over again. As long as the market keeps coming to the trend line, we just keep repeating the same process. So I'll still like backtest, I'll still like forward test it in like in a chart that I've not yet seen, so that we can see how it works. So looking at this other trend, right, you can see that the market has broken this trend line right now. You can see trend line broken, market is now moving up. Now we apply the same principle. Now the market came back to this point. What happened? It pushed back to the upside. So what we should expect is that anytime price comes back to the trend line, we should like push back to the upside. And the trend line is just one of the confluence in terms of trend following. We also use simple support and resistance just to like add to the confluence, as simple as that. For example, in this point here, let's use this example. Look at price has been ranging over here for a pretty long time. So this is where a trend line meets a support and it pushed to the downside. So that's like double confluence. So it's just basically these two confluence I use: support or resistance and a trend line. So we can see that price has been hitting upon the support and it refused to break, and at the point where the support and the trend line met, market pushed to the downside. That's the exact same thing that happened at this point too. You can see right here, support at this point here, and market touched the support, touched upon the time it dropped down. This is basically the whole idea behind it. And same thing that happened in this other point right here. You guys can see right here, in the opposite direction, a support right here came back to touch it exactly at the point where it meets with this with the trend line, and it pushed back up. So what we should be expecting is anytime price comes back to this trend line, we should expect the market to push up. Guess what just happened? My plan just like I've backtested the limits for my current plan because I was backtesting. I've been backtesting throughout this week for like I've backtested up to like 2 years past it already, and I think I've gotten to the limits for my plan. So guys, I believe that with this few knowledge that I've given you guys should have gotten the basic knowledge of what my trading strategy is. Basically, support and resistance mixed with trend line. So the support just acts as a double confluence for the strategy, so that you know that it's not just purely trend line. It has like a support and resistance just to like increase on the win rate, and it filters you from entering more trades and more accurate trades. So you tend to like take more better trades than, yeah, the other side of taking more trades that are not really accurate. So that's why I had to add up the two, support and resistance, with trend line depending on the market direction. So guys, I believe that you guys would understand what I mean right now. So what you can do basically is go and keep backtesting and mastering the trading. So what I've said here is you're never going to master it if you don't put in the work to like backtest it, see how it works, and keep on trying and learning, and just basically keep increasing your knowledge span. Hey guys, so we've come to the end of today's video. Do well to use the link in the description to join my Telegram community, where I've been documenting my whole journey of my trading, everything from day one up to today. So link is going to be in the description. So guys, do well to drop a like, drop a comment, and also if you're a trader and you don't feel comfortable spending hundreds to thousands of dollars purchasing prop firms, or you're just a beginner trader and you're not yet ready to go into spending hundreds or to even thousands of dollars on prop firm capital in purchasing prop firms, you can try a safer and a better method, which is try out to trade. With that, you can get a 5k 10k account for as low as $5, uh $8, and once you pass, then try to trade will be responsible for buying the actual prop firm account for you. So it's basically for mostly people that are coming into the trading industry that don't just want to go all in and buy funded accounts, or if you don't really have enough capital, you can try the safer and the better route. So guys, I'll catch you on the next one. Do have to drop a like, subscribe. Peace and love, guys.